Hey there folks, Foggy here. Welcome to day 166 of my year of solo board gaming. Considered by many to be ill-advised and stupid. We are playing Sentinels of the Multiverse Definitive Edition, and this is the next villain up in terms of difficulty. This is Akash'Bhuta, who has a whopping 200 HP, which is insane. Akash has a lot of primeval limbs, and basically the idea is that you want to do damage to the limbs so that when the limbs are destroyed, that will actually do fixed damage back to Akash and basically lower Akash's hit points. Akash will split back and forth between two different forms. This is their regular form. And when she's in this regular form, you will discard the top card of the environment deck after every non-hero target is played. So basically these two, when they activate, after any non-hero target is played. I think I was playing that wrong in the previous version. This is my second time trying to play Akash. I made a huge mistake with Absolute Zero and Legacy, which I've replaced with Raw over here. So that's why I'm reacting now. All right, so I think I discard the first two. Not really, because this is part of setup. It's not really counting as played. Okay, so I'm not going to count these as played because they're just part of setup. Right now, Akash is going to have -1 damage to herself. And then at the end phase, this is going to deal the non-villain target with the lowest HP to melee damage. What happened was in the previous game, I had 3 of these out, and basically they were walloping on Absolute Zero. It was painful. This will do 2 toxic damage and destroy an ongoing card and item card in that play area. So we want to take this one out quick. Fortunately, it's only 6 HP. Now, Akash, again, as I was trying to mention, when we go through the environment deck completely, we'll flip this over. And it will be a different form for Akash that will go through the environment deck slower and is also more deadly. So we are basically, we want Akash to stay on this side as much as possible, but the more, it's going to be difficult to keep her on this side. And then once she's on the other side, we want to get through that environment deck as quick as possible. So cards that basically allow us to ignore those are going to be well appreciated. We're playing with 3 superhero characters. We're playing with Bunker, which is like their version of Iron Man. We're playing with Absolute Zero, which is a character that can take a lot of damage from their abilities, but hopefully we'll find things that will allow that damage to become damage to the villain. And then Ra, which is basically like a Firestorm or Flame character, or Human Torch-like character, just does a lot of like fire damage. Let's go ahead and draw their starting hands for Ra. We're going to make sure this is completely shuffled too. That was the other thing, is that the Absolute Zero deck was completely not shuffled. So it was a while before I was getting good, useful cards. Alright, that should be good. Let's go ahead and deal out some starting hands. So for Ra's starting hand, I've got Living Conflagration. When this card is destroyed, Ra deals 1 target, 3 fire damage, and draws 2 cards. The power is destroy this card. And on the start phase, I get to deal up to 3 targets, 1 fire damage each. So that's actually a really helpful one. Item, +1 damage dealt by Ra. Whenever Ra would deal fire damage to a target, you may double the damage dealt after applying all other modifiers after you do destroy this card. And then that actually sounds like it would be really cool, but it'll burn itself out once we use its really cool power. 1 shot, we deal some fire damage. So that seems pretty useful. And then after you use any power, Ra deals 1 target, 1 fire damage. And basically this sounds like a card that you have to continually use other cards to feed. So that could be very negative overall. Absolute Zero, let's get his starting hand. His starting hand is going to be Isothermic Transducer. Basically, it converts fire damage to cold damage, which is really useful. Horfire deals cold and fire damage. Null Point Calibration Unit. Whenever you would be dealt cold damage, regain it as HP. That'd be really useful. And then Horfire again. So that's my starting hand for Absolute Zero. I've got these backwards. And then finally, Incredible Bunker. Environment cards cannot be played. Deal 1 target, 3 melee damage. Grenade launcher and Omni Cannon. So the Omni Cannon and Grenade launcher are going to be very useful. All right. So we've now got our starting hands. We're going to go ahead and do this. There's no start phase for the villain, so we're just going to go ahead and play a card. It's another Primeval Limb, and it's another Interposing Stalactites. So that's going to be 2 negative damage dealt to Akash. And then now we do the end phases. Discover 1 Primeval Limb. Well, that's ongoing, so that's not going to work. Harsh Renewal. Earth Sacrifice. Return to the Earth. 1 shot. Which is strange is that this was definitely not this difficult last time. Discover is that you keep going through the deck until you find the first card that matches. Collect and summons, basically, collect allows you to look through your entire deck for a specific card, and summon is you can look through your deck and your trash. So, all right, Arboreal Phalanges will basically target the character with the most HP, interposing the character with the least HP. All right, so that is the Discover 1 Primal Limb card. Absolute Zero is going to take 2 melee damage. Now, we don't have anybody with ongoing cards and item cards. So this character will simply do 2 damage to somebody. We'll have it do to the bunker. Then the villain with the non-villain target with the lowest HP, 2 more damage. And then the character with the highest HP, 3 damage. So already dealing with some stuff here. We're going to go ahead and do Ra now. Ra's first thing is to play. We're going to just go ahead and do Inferno right off the block. Deal 1 target, 3 fire damage. So we will go ahead and focus on the entropic fungi and get that out of the way really quick. And then deal each non-hero target 1 fire damage each. Now, the important thing to remember here is that if we had police in play over here, which is a possible target from the environment, the police are not hero targets, they're environment targets. They would actually get taken out by that. They would get affected by it. But we're going to do 1 fire damage to everything. Then we get to activate a power, deal 1 target 2 fire damage. So I'm going to kick in my power, and I'm going to wipe out the entropic fungi. When this card is destroyed, Akash deals herself 6 fixed energy damage. Fixed means that it cannot be changed in any way. It cannot be lowered, cannot be increased, cannot be changed in terms of type. So despite the fact that there's -2 up there, she is going to take the full 6 damage and drop down to 194. Now I get to draw a card as Ra, and then that will end my turn for Ra. Now we're going to go on to Absolute Zero. We're going to play Isothermic Transducer. After this card is played, you may play 1 more card. After Absolute Zero is dealt fire damage, Absolute Card Zero deals 1 target that much cold damage. And then we're going to go ahead and play... I think we're going to play Null Point Calibration Unit as well. It means that we're not doing much damage this round, but after this card is played, you may play 1 card, actually, so we're going to get to play 1 more. Whenever Absolute Zero would be dealt cold damage, regain that much HP instead. So finally, we're going to go ahead and play this card, Horfire. Deal 1 target 2 cold damage, deal a different target 2 fire damage, and then deal myself 1 cold and 1 fire. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to target these interposing stalactites. They're the weakest here. We can't do it on the same target, so it'll be 2 different targets. Like that. Then we deal myself 1 cold and 1 fire damage. Well, because of the Null Point Calibration Unit, I get to raise my HP back up by 1 instead of dealing cold damage. And I get to convert that fire damage. I'm going to take 1 damage. And then deal another character, one of these targets, 1 cold damage. So we'll target either of the... It doesn't really matter which one of these. We're going to target one of them. And then I get to draw a card. Still life. All right, and finally we're going to go with the bunker. We could go with adhesive foam grenade, which is basically don't play an environment card this round. Kind of feel like I need to get one of these underway. So we're going to go ahead and play. We don't have any starts, unfortunately, so we're going to play that. And now we'll do the power phase. I can't. There's no point doing that power. Either draw one card or put the top card of your deck under one ordnance card in play. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put an ordnance card down here so we can get this grenade launcher set up. But that's all we can really do. We'll then just draw one more card at the end of our turn. And now we'll go ahead and play an environment card. Police backup. This card counts as a hero target. So actually what I was saying before does not account. And then this will do the villain target with the highest HP 1 projectile damage. So here's the problem. The police have shown up. They are firing at Akash. Akash doesn't care. She's got so much protection from the tentacles and the stalagmites that the bullets just bounce off her and she just ignores them. So that is the end of round 1. There's no start card here, so we go straight to play. Destroy all environment cards, play the top card of the environment deck, play the top card of the villain deck. Alright, so I'm so sorry guys. Then we play the top card of the environment deck. Hostage situation, which means that that's irritating. It's an emergency. And when it starts up, we will basically each lose a card. So we can target it. We can deal with the hostage situation. It means that we'll be distracted from this. We'll also play the top card of the villain deck, which are more primeval limbs. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and go through here and do our end phase, because that was just simply the play card. No, that was, I'm sorry, that was from... Yeah, that was the play. That was the play. Okay, sorry. Discover one primeval limb. That's not a primeval limb. The other thing I forgot is that we played 3 primeval limbs. There should be... Should be 4 cards, because this was also a non-hero target. So... Sorry, there should be 4 cards drawn extra. And now we have to discover a primeval limb. Sorry, I'm messing this up a little bit. Living Rock Slide, it's another one. And then we'll shuffle. All right. Now what's fun is, this does not say anything. This is an environment target. It's not a villain target. It's an emergency. And so as far as I can tell, it's fair game for Akash. And so interposing stalagmites, and I think that means, because we played that, that's going to be one more environment card discarded. This deals the non-villain target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage. Well, that's actually this one over here. This is a hostage situation. So we're going to deal that character 2 damage. And we need some 1s here. Pull all those out. This one also deals the non-villain target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage. Deals the non-villain target with the highest HP 3 melee damage. Well, currently that's going to be Bunker. Each non-villain target 2 projectile damage. Well, that's going to be everybody. So Raw goes down by 2. Absolute Zero goes down by 2. And this is, since this is projectile damage, it's not going to matter any sort of defenses. 3, and that actually takes out the hostage situation. I don't know if I played that right. I feel like I did not play that right. I don't think that was what was intended, but I'm happy with it anyway. And then we're going to do this last one, which is 2 more projectile damage to everybody. But I'm not sad that that's gone. All right. Now we're going to activate plays and powers. So for playing, I'm going to play Staff of Ra, which is going to give me +1 damage dealt by raw. Plus, I can consume it to double the damage after modifiers have been applied. So now I'm going to use my power, deal 1 target 2 fire damage. It's actually going to be now a 3. We will focus on this first of the interposing stalactites just to see if we can get rid of this. That'll bring that up to 7. So we'll replace that, make it a little bit easier to work with, and then we'll draw a card. All right. Flame Spike would be very helpful in the next round. All right, so now I get to play a card. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Horfire again, because that was actually pretty good. Deal 1 target 2 cold damage. We'll do the interposing stalagmites. We'll focus on getting one of these other ones out as well. So we'll hit this one. That's going to be 5 damage total now. And then we deal myself 1 cold and 1 fire. However, the 1 cold now becomes HP, and the 1 fire gets turned into cold damage. So we'll focus on the interposing stalagmites, and that now becomes 10 on here. We've almost taken out the stalagmites, which I would really like to be able to do. Then we activate our power, which is deal myself either 1 cold damage or 1 fire damage. Well, I will deal myself 1 fire damage so that I can do 1 more cold damage. And this time I'll hit the, I think I'm going to hit the phalanges. No, I'm going to hit the other interposing stalagmites. All right. So now we go to bunker. Bunker at the start. Put 1 card from the top of the deck under this card. Destroy up to, and then I can play a card. We're going to... Yeah, we're going to do Piston Punch. Bunker deals 1 target 3 melee damage. If that damage destroys a target, put this card under 1 ordnance card in play. We're going to take this card out. We're going to do 3 damage to the interposing stalactites. So a couple things happens here. One is we do 12 damage to Akash. So now we're down to 182. Plus, because that destroyed a target, we get to put this under an ordnance card in play. Now we get to activate a power. Because we've played a card, now we get to do a power. Destroy up to 2 cards under this card. Each time you destroy 1 card this way, Bunker deals 3 targets 2 fire damage each. So we're going to do 2 cards here, and we're going to basically light them up. So that is going to be 4 fire damage on 3 targets, which is huge. That's going to bump this up to 10. That's going to bump this up to 5. And then we're going to do another 4 over here. We could split this up, but because there's a Restore Limbs card, I want to just basically focus on getting out cards as quick as possible. So that is the power. And then finally, I get to draw a card, which is another Adhesive Foam Grenade card. So then we're going to do an environment. Persistent on Paparazzi. Ongoing. After a hero uses a power, they deal themselves 1 fixed psychic damage. Start phase. Each hero may discard 1 card. If each active hero does this, destroy this card. So that hero card, that's just simply ongoing. It's just going to stay there for a bit. We now go over to the villain. The villain gets to play a card. It is, not surprisingly, a persistent primeval limb. And then we do our end phases. We're going to discover another primeval limb. And we have to also destroy an environment card because we played a card. All right. That's an one shot, ongoing, one shot, primeval limb. We're going to shuffle the rest of these up. We also destroy another environment card. This sucks. This is going to affect absolute 0. The stupid fungi. Okay, so we're going to start off here. We've already discovered the limb, so we take the non-villain target with the lowest HP, 2 damage. That's going to be absolute 0, unfortunately. Non-villain target with the highest HP takes 3 damage. Well, that's going to be Ra. Each non-villain target gets 2 projectile damage. It's going to happen twice, so I drop down to 16 for Ra, 14 for Absolute Zero, 17 for Ra. Highest HP is going to lose another 3, so that's going to be the Bunker. It drops down to 14. And then finally, each target in the hero play area with the most cards in play, 2 toxic damage. So that'll be... And then I think I'm going to go ahead and take the hit on the null point calibration unit. Because I think, well, no, it's not going to matter because I don't have any more cards to play. All right, and then that's it. Pretty bad round all over. That was pretty nasty, to say the least. All right, so now I can go ahead and do hopefully some damage over here. Living Conflagration would help on the next round. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this Flame Spike. Ra deals 1 target, 1 fire damage, which gets increased by 1 by the Staff of Ra, so that's going to be 2 total. We're going to focus this on the Interposing Stalagmites, and that takes that out. That's going to deal another 12 damage to our good friend over here. Plus, I may now use a power, so that's going to do 3 damage to another one. We're going to do that on the Living Rock Slide over here. And then, even though that was just my play, and then may use a power, I still get to use my power as part of the separate phase. I'm going to do 3 more damage and take out the Living Rock Slide over here for another 10. And that'll drop Akash down to 160. I then get to draw a card. And I think that was a pretty good move. I do want to try to take that card out, though, because that's going to be nasty. I'm going to play Stay Alive. I mean, there's not much else I can do with it. There's not much else I can do. This will allow me to basically select 1 target. This target cannot deal damage. So we're going to use this little thing over here. I think I want to target the fungi, because the fungi is nasty. The fungi is just flat out nasty. And then as part of my power, I can deal myself either fire damage or cold damage. I will deal myself fire damage so that I can then deal 1 target that much cold damage. And we'll focus on trying to get the Arboreal out here. All right. Next up. Start phase is put top card of your deck under this card, so we will do that. I will also go ahead and play turret mode. +1 damage dealt by Bunker. It's not going to last longer than this round, because at the start phase of the next round, I destroy it. Power phases, I may use 2 additional powers this phase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card, because I've already got... No, I'm going to put 1 card under Ordnance. So it's going to be like that. So that's going to be me activating this first power, and then the second power, destroy up to 2 cards under this card. Each time you destroy 1 card this way, Bunker deals 3 targets, 2 fire damage each. So it's actually going to be 3 fire damage each. So a total of 6 damage. That is not quite enough to take out the Phalanges, unfortunately. It is enough to take out the Entropic Fungi, which really means I should have thought about this a little bit better and instead played that one there, but that gets taken out. And then we'll do 6 damage on this Rock Slide one as well. So I'm going to mulligan that because this is hard enough as is. But yeah, I should have thought about that a little ahead. I do find that there's not much synergy between the different cards. And then we get to draw a card. All right, so now we go over to the environment. Each hero may discard... oh, and I forgot to deal myself psychic damage, didn't I? So he used his power twice. He used his power once. Ra used his power twice, so this should correct everything. Start phase. Each hero may discard one card. If each active hero does, destroy this card. I have no cards. I don't know how that's possible. I think I just simply forgot to draw one. Sorry. Part of me feels like, you know what, we're gonna do this because I don't want to deal with this environment card next round, so that is going to get discarded. Then we play a card. One shot. Destroy one villain ongoing card, one hero ongoing card, and one environment card. Each target deals itself one fixed fired psychic damage. Well, the villain has no ongoing cards. I have turret mode, which is going to get destroyed anyway. I got still life, which was going to get destroyed anyway. And then over here I have nothing ongoing. There's no environment card over here, so this is just simply going to get destroyed. But we then all deal ourselves one fixed damage. So fixed means that it can't be adjusted, which means that Akash takes her one damage herself. And then we're going to deal one damage here, and one damage here. Almost enough to take out the freaking phalanges, but not quite. We're each then going to get lowered by 1, which means absolute 0 is down to 9, which is not good. All right. Then we play a card. Harsh Renewal. Start phase. Destroy the Primeval Limb card in play with the lowest HP, preventing any damage Akash would deal herself. Shuffle the villain trash into the villain deck. Discovered one more Primeval Limb card. Okay, that's lovely. That's an ongoing card for the start phase. And currently, since the phalanges have these lowest HP, that's going to get trashed, but without actually causing Akash 14 damage. Grrr. And we need to get rid of that ongoing card, because that card is going to be a problem. I take that back. I just screwed that up. The reason I just screwed that up... There we go. All right, so that's start phase. It's an ongoing card. We play it, but it's ongoing. That means that will activate in the start phase of the next round. So I should not have gotten rid of that. This is still at 13. I should not have shuffled the trash in. That's going to happen soon anyway, but that kind of sucks that I did that. So sorry about that. We're going to start from scratch as if that had not happened. I don't think there was that much. I think there was the entropic fungi. We'll go ahead and remove some of these that I remember doing. Pretty sure we took out the stalagmites. All right, we're gonna treat that as if I'm not gonna be able to undo the trash shuffle. Sorry. Stupid. Very stupid. Very stupid. All right, so that was our card that we played, and now we're going to do the end phase. Discover one prosthetic limb. We have found one. Entropic fungi. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking hate that card. Pardon my language. We're going to lower one character by 3. We're going to deal everybody else 2 damage. I think we're going to lose pretty quickly anyway. This character does not do anything. And then this character will deal each target in the hero play area with the most cards in play 2 toxic damage, which technically would be over here. And then destroy one ongoing and item card. So that would get rid of the grenade launcher. All right, that was horrible. Let's go ahead and start doing some damage. We're going to go ahead and play this one shot and just take out the entropic fungi. And then we were also supposed to destroy an environment card because of the target that got played. We'll lower this down to 147. There we go. That was my one play, but now I get to activate my power, and my power is deal one target to fire damage. We will do... part of me wants to go ahead... I'm going to do the Living Rock Slide because I think Absolute Zero can take out the phalanges. So we'll take this one out, because that's going to be 3 damage total. And that does another 10 damage. So now 137. And then we draw a card. Staff of Ra, Relic. So not going to really be that helpful. Over here, we have no cards to play. So we will use the power. We'll deal 1 fire damage to ourselves, and then immediately turn around and do 1 target that much cold damage. So that'll be the phalanges over here. That's now at 14, and we take away 14 points. So that'll bring them down to 123. Chipping away here. And then draw a card. That would have been helpful. I don't have anything that would be really useful. I can't play anything, unfortunately. We may as well go ahead and play the Gatling gun. Maybe we'll get lucky in the environment card. But what's going to happen here is that the environment card's going to get shuffled over soon, and once that happens, Akash will start doing 2 damage and just start wiping us out left and right. Like, we're not going to last much longer this way. So I'm really not sure what to do. We might as well get this one out. All right, so we can either draw 1 card or put the top card of the deck under the ordnance card in play. We might as well do that. And then we'll do the environment card. Oh, and then we still get to draw a card as well. There we go. Again, that would have helped. Local legal expert, supporter, 6. This card counts as a hero target. It's immune to damage dealt by hero targets. End phase. Each hero draws 1 card. All right, so we each draw a card. Yay. All right, so we go to the villain phase. We're going to draw a card. Oh, start phase, actually. Start phase. Destroy the Primeval Limb card in play with the lowest HP, which technically this is the only one, so we'll destroy that. Then shuffle the trash into the villain deck, and then discover 1 Primeval Limb card. So, not the worst thing in the world. Not great either, by any stretch. I do not know what I'm going to do about HP. I don't see any way that I can actually get HP, and they are going through my defenses too quickly to really counter any sort of attack. All right, so discover 1 H. No, that's not a Primeval Limb. Not a Primeval Limb. Primeval Limb, a Boreal Phalanges. All right, and then we're going to might as well just discover another one because that is going to be the end phase there. Also, we discard one of these. Entropic Fungi. Hate that one. I really hate that one because it just feels to me like there's nothing that I can do about it when it comes into play. It's just, sorry you had stuff. Sorry you had stuff that you wanted to rely on. Stupid. Very stupid. The rest of these get shuffled. All right, and then we get rid of another environmental card, which means that we will be going into the shuffling mode on the next round. So yay. Deal the non-villain target with the highest HP 8 melee damage. That'll be Ra. And then 1 character will take 2 toxic damage. That'll be the Bunker, who loses their gun again. Ra will go. we'll pull out Fiery Tornado. That's going to allow me to get rid of the Entropic Fungi. So then, after we've played that, after I use any power, I deal 1 target fire damage. So I first of all get to do 3 fire damage. We'll do that on the fungi. Then we'll get to do 1 more damage from this, and then deal up to 3 targets 1 fire damage each. We'll hit both of these, and then that should almost wipe it out, but not quite. Plus 1 more damage from that. So that does wipe out the Entropic Fungi. Fungi, so that's going to do 6 more damage. And bring this down to 117. Still not going to be enough to deal with it. I can destroy up to 3 ongoing cards, and because there's only 1 target, I'm going to go ahead and play that. So that will destroy that. And then this will deal 3 damage over here. I then get to activate a power if I would like. I will do 1 cold... Yeah, I'm going to have to do 1 fire damage, which I don't want to do, but then that will do 1 more damage over here on the phalanges. We're going to go ahead and play... We're going to go ahead and play 1 ally uses 1 power. Damage dealt by that ally with that power is irreducible, and I say we just go ahead and hit phalanges there for 3 more. It's unfortunately not going to be quite enough to really do anything. But we're gonna die soon anyway. I can't really activate any power, so I may as well activate this to draw 1 card. And then I still get to draw 1 more card after this. So, yay. All right. Environment phase. We have to shuffle this up. And whenever the environment trash is shuffled into the environment deck, Ash regains 3 HP and then flip this card. So, and also these shouldn't be here at this point. I keep forgetting that I need to take that into account. So restore 3 HP, brings it up to 120. And then we flip this. And then after any non-hero target is destroyed, discard the top card of the environment deck. And so what happens here is that this will go through the environment deck more slowly, but we're also going to each get 2 damage each turn. And that's going to be insane. All right. Bomb at City Hall. So this is a bomb at City Hall. It's going to be 6. And during the end phase, one of us can withdraw, like get rid of 2 items. First we'll do, it should go in this order, sorry. We'll go ahead and each draw a card. I cannot get rid of 2 items. I cannot get rid of 2 items. I can, so I will go ahead and get rid of the bomb. So I'm going to die anyway. All right. Now we go ahead and play a card. It's a one-shot. Discover 2 Primeval Limb cards, and then discard the top 4 cards of the environment deck. All right, so 2. All right. That's going to get shuffled back in, and then we discard the top 4 here. All right, discover deals the non-villain target with the highest HP H melee damage. You know what's crazy? That's the supporter. That's our supporter who's going to take that 3 damage because she's at 6 right now. That's crazy pants. Now, the interposing stalagmites will deal the non-villain target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage. That is also now the supporter. She's now taken 5 damage. Finally, the one with the lowest HP, -2 damage dealt by that target until the villain start phase. Well, that'll be... This actually worked out really well for us. I'm sorry, supporter. I'm sorry, Snapper Car. I'm sorry, Jimmy Olsen. I'm sorry, Rick Jones. I almost forgot, though. We do have to take the 2 damage up here. Deals each non-villain target 2 fire damage. Actually, so this would not actually come into play. She's going to take... Yeah, I have to redo this completely because it was a little too quick to jump the gun there. All right, so she's going to take 2 damage from the fire damage over here. So is the bunker. So is absolute 0, and slow is raw. However, it's fire damage, so I can turn around and do 2 damage to something else. So I will do 2 damage to the phalanges to bring them up to 10. Now, the character with the most HP is over here, so that will take 3 HP. The hero with the lowest will get 2 melee damage. That will actually take her out, unfortunately. And then finally, the one with the lowest HP, we're going to go ahead and make that the bunker, since the bunker has no way to attack right now. I don't think that's the right number. I think it's the reds, I think. These ones. All right, and then we go with raw. I can do Consuming Flame. I could... Oh, start phase. Either discard 2 cards or destroy this card. Yeah, I will get rid of those and keep it for another round. I may as well... This, unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough to really destroy anything. I'll do 3 damage per. But since it's not a power, I'm not going to be able to deal enough power to wipe it out. If I activate this, I'll get a new power, which will allow me to do 5 damage total. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this one anyway. Deal up to 3 targets 2 fire damage each. Then activate my power. And it's actually 3 total because of the Staff of Ra. I can then activate this for 3 total. I could destroy it if I wanted to. I mean, we're so far away from winning, and we're all pretty much on death's door at this point. Yeah, we may as well. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to sacrifice this card because we're going to die soon anyway. This will bring us to 9 over here. And the reason I'm doing it that way is that I can work down this. After you use any power, Ra deals 1 target, 1 fire damage. So we'll go ahead and deal that here. And then finally, Ra deals up to 3 targets, 1 fire damage each. Which means we probably should have kept it, right? Yeah, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it. That's going to get rid of 3 damage here. Because +1 damage dealt by Ra, so that'll be an extra 1 there. And then each of these is going to get 2 more fire damage. Bringing that to 10. Bringing this to 5. The arboreal phalanges are now wiped out. We get rid of another environment card because we destroyed a non-hero target. That's going to lower us by 14 to 106. all I have here is just simply summon one item card. Absolute Zero deals himself 1 fire damage and 1 cold damage. Well, we will summon this null calibration unit. We take 1 cold damage, since we don't get to play another card, and 1 fire damage. However, so that's going to drop me down to 1. I get to deal out 1 fire damage, so we'll deal it on this character here. We will not use our power. I mean, I'm going to die anyway. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice ourselves. We're going to use our last ability here. This is going to wipe us out, but in the Death Sting, we take out Interposing Stalagmites for another 12. We managed to finally get this character down below, what is that, 94, I think? Down below 100, halfway down. Get rid of another environment card. But now, absolute... Oh, that should have gone back in here, I think. Absolute Zero is now killed. So cannot use any powers. At this point, Absolute Zero becomes an incapacitated hero, which means that they can do one of these things instead of their regular phase. However, that doesn't kick in right yet. That'll go on the next turn. Finally, we're going to get to Indestructible Bunker. After this card is played, summon 1 item card. However, I may not use powers. So we're looking for an item card that does some damage. There's nothing in there that really works. We're going to go ahead and summon this emergency shielding, which essentially will allow us to protect ourselves. We don't get to play a power card, but we do get to draw a card, and then we get to play up to 2 cards in addition to that. So what we will do is, first of all, do all this, draw a card. We'll put in this emergency shielding. That will help protect us on the next round. And then we still get to play 1 more as part of the end phase. We may as well do Piston Punch, even though we're going to lose 2 damage here. We may as well hit this Ensnaring Brambles for 1 more. Bring us to 6 there. All right, so that is our turn there. We're going to play the Environment card, Impending Casualty. Start phase, each hero character deals itself 3 fixed psychic damage. Destroy this card. 1 hero during the end phase may discard their hand. If they do, they draw 2 cards and then destroy this card. We're going to go ahead and have the Indestructible Bunker do that. They're going to draw 2 cards, and that takes out the Environment card. We go over here, we play a card first. We get Entropic Fungi. Jesus Christ. I mean, seriously, this card can go suck an egg. Now we do the end phase. So every hero takes 2 damage. That means that Ra will take 1 or 3 and bring them down to 1. Absolute Zero is done. Over here, this reaction takes out the 2 damage that would have been dealt otherwise. Fortunately, it does not take any damage. So that's good. Over here, select the damage target with the lowest HP. That'll actually be raw, so that'll be -2 damage until the villain start phase next time around. And then over here, select each card deals 2 more toxic damage. The reaction can only be done once. So essentially, we're kind of screwed. So we're going to lose 2 more HP. And we're going to lose these 2 items. It's destroyed, so we gain 2 HP back. So we're back to 3. And then we start the hero phase. We need to discard 2 cards or destroy this card, so we have to destroy it because we don't have enough cards to do that. We may as well play this. This is going to be +3. Deal 1 target 3 fire damage. And then we get +1 from that. We could upgrade it to 4. We could double it. That would make 8. And we would take out the fungi, but I really don't think it's going to matter at this point. I think we're pretty much doomed. I will go ahead and take the 4, I think, at this point. I might be able to get 2 damage out of this freaking entropic fungi thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Over here, Absolute Zero gets Desperate Last Moments and gets to do one of these. Destroy 1 target with 2 or fewer HP. We'll destroy this one. That's going to do 6 more damage. It's really just circling the drain at this point. And then over here, I have nothing else that I can play. I'll draw a card. Really nothing. I can do absolutely nothing with any of these cards. And then we'll do an environment card. After hero uses power, we deal ourselves 1 fixed damage. And then we go over here, we play a card. It's going to be a Boreal Phalanges. We activate this. It's 2 damage. This brings Bunker down to 1. Over here, we're going to basically just get wiped out again. Raw's going to down to 0. Raw is dead. Over here, Bunker is going to get the least HP, so the -1 there. But then we also get dealt 3 HP damage. And so that takes out Bunker. And all the heroes have now been killed. So this was brutal. I'm not sure what I could have done better here. I think because there's so many limbs, it's just difficult to keep up with all the damage that gets dealt. You know, and we had nobody who could heal. Nobody had any sort of healing ability. And when I tried this with Legacy, the problem with Legacy, Absolute, and Bunker is that you really don't get a whole lot of opportunities to do damage. Raw does a lot of damage. Raw's great at damage. I kind of wish I had Raw, Tachyon, and like somebody else, because you just need to keep doing a lot of damage to this character. We only got down to 88 out of 200. That is just insane. And this side is brutal because you're doing like 6 damage every turn, and that's just difficult to really counter. But that is it. That is the Cosmics Multiverse, blah, blah, blah. Sentinels of the Multiverse, second game. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll try another villain and see if we do any better. Until then, please do all the YouTube things, and I'll see you tomorrow.